Okay, hey everyone. I'm just going to go through the practice SAC to help you guys out a bit in preparing for your SAC, which should be on Tuesday this week. So I'm just going to make sure my camera is okay. Okay, so question 1, we're looking for an adjacency matrix for this graph here. I can firstly notice that there are no like loops, which gives me information that all the diagonals should be all zeros, so I can tell that D is not the answer before I look into any of the other ones. Looking at these ones here, it seems that sort of A to B is the one that's could rule out a few, so I'll check A to B. A to B, there's only one path, so it means I know that for A to B that's wrong, and for A to B that's wrong, which means my answer has to be A or C. Now having a quick look at that, it seems like the difference is B to C or C to B, right? B to C, C, yeah, okay. So do B and C connect? Yes, they do by 1, so it should be this, hang on. C to B, it's this one. C to B, B to C, yeah. So A will be my correct answer just through the process of elimination there. The number of faces in the following planar graph is, okay. Now, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus remember there's always one counted as the outside, so I'll put 6. What's the minimum number of edges in a connected graph with 7 vertices? So I already know this just from experience, but if you're not too sure, just draw it out. 7. And try to join them in the minimum number of lines, right? Yeah, that's got all of them connected. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 7 vertices. Okay. All right. Which graph is the minimum spanning tree? That shouldn't be minimum. It should just be spanning tree because there's no numerical values on there. So the context of tree has to be connected, so B is incorrect, and so E straight up. So it's got to be one of these ones, right? And the point of a spanning tree is you don't want to have. Was my camera just glitching out a bit? And the point of a spanning tree is you don't want to have like circuits, sort of like this one. So I'm going to assume that the answer is D, but it could be C, I guess. So let's have a quick look. F to G to A to B to C to D to E. Yeah, so D is the correct answer. Just because it touches all those vertices once. See, this one here sort of adds in this extra line that you don't need. Same with this one. So remember, with a spanning tree, you're just sorry, it's got a bit of hay fever. Remember, with a spanning tree, that you're trying to cover all the vertices with as little lines as possible. Right. So yeah. All right. What's the length of the minimum spanning tree? Okay. So this is actually a minimum spanning tree because it has values on it. So you're going to try and use that Prim's algorithm. We start by coloring in we do the smallest line first, easy, and then the next smallest, and we just keep doing that until there are, and you got to make sure that you don't create any circuits while doing that. And you just keep finding the next smallest and coloring it in without making any circuits. So you'll see that 5 is actually the next smallest value, but that would make a circuit and connect back, so we don't need that. E and C are already connected to the tree. Same with A to E with 6. So the next one's 6 up here, and that's good. So it connects A and B. So I've got all those ones connected up now as short as possible. Okay, so that's the key there. So it's 3, 7, 9, and 6 is 15. Just make sure I counted that right. 10, 12, 15. Yeah, cool. An Euler trail can be created by connecting an edge between two vertices. Okay, so remember, if you're doing an Euler's trail, you need to have two odd degree vertices, sorry. And the rest all even. So rest even. So A's 1, right? So that's odd. F is 3, so that's odd. E is 3, so that's odd. 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's okay, that's even. C is odd with 3, and B is, so we need to connect some combination of those 4. So it might be like A to C, A to F, A to E, F to E, F to C, or E to C, something like that. Okay, so B and C, that would turn B into an odd degree vertex. If you're not sure what I mean when I'm saying this, it's how many lines are connected up. So if I were to draw that line in, this would be 4, but then that would be 3, and then we wouldn't have 2, we would still have 4. So we would have 4 with odd degrees, so that's not right. A to D is like here. That would make that even, but this one odd, so it's not that one either. B to D would make them all odd, so that doesn't help. A to E, that's the answer. Right, if I put this line in here, all of a sudden this is 2, and this now becomes 4, which means that a path is possible. And if you don't believe me, I can quickly do the path. So we'll go that way, let's go that way, 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 right? So it's possible. So yeah, A and E, just to be safe, D to F would make that odd and that one even. So, alright, a connected planar graph has 8 vertices and 12 edges. How many faces are there? Now I'm probably going to stuff this up because I always forget how this works. But it's is it faces plus vertices minus edges equals 2. I always stuff this up, so I never remember this formula. This is why I gotta write notes, write things down. What's it called? Euler's formula. Faces plus vertices minus edges equals 2. Yeah, that will work. Okay, cool. Alright, so faces, we don't know. Plus, so I can actually rearrange this just to make it be faces. So it'd be 2 plus E minus V equals F. I think by plussing E to that side and minusing V. Yeah, so if we have 12 edges, so it's 2 plus 12 minus 8. That gives me 14 minus 8, which gives me 6. That's my answer for F. Which of the following graphs have an Euler trail? So remember, same as I was talking about before, it's got to have 2 vertices that have an odd number of lines coming into them. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, so not A, which means it's not A or D or E, so the B or C. B's got, yeah, so it's not B, so it has to be just this one. I'll double check though just in case. It's got 4, it's got 4, 2, 4, 4, 4, yep. So maybe this one here then. We've got 3, 2, 2, and 3. Yeah, so D is the only one that has an Euler trail. Alright, I'm just going to try and blow my nose again. Okay, truck starts from the main distribution point at vertex A, which is over here, and he makes deliveries at each of the other vertices before returning to A. What is the shortest truck route? Okay. So that's a Hamiltonian. I just forget, it's either circuit or cycle. I always get them mixed up, but essentially we have to visit each vertex once, and then return to the original vertex without crossing over a vertex, I guess. So yeah, we can do that. Unfortunately, this one's a little bit sort of trial and error, so we'll just have to see how we go. If we're starting at A, the immediate, obvious route for me is to go this way. I think that makes the most sense. If I want to get to B and G, it's a tricky one because then I can either go down this route and then up here, and that would be 6, or that way, and then that way is 7. So the 6 seems to make more sense. But that also means that later on I'll have to take this path here, which is not ideal. I have to quickly think about this one. So I think if we went A to H, let's say to G to B to E, then DA, that would be 2, 5, 8, 13, 17, 26, which is a possible answer, so that's worth noting. Let's leave that off then. If I did A, H, G, E, how am I going to do this? I think it has to work that way because otherwise I'm going D, B, A. That's going to be too long, surely. That's 2, 5. So 2, 5, 9, 13, 21, 28. Yeah. It has to be the first one. Because I don't like taking that 9, but I don't think you have much choice, because if you go the other way, you're taking 15. So that's not ideal. Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. Alright, 26. I'm content with that. Hopefully it's the right answer. I'd hate to give you the wrong answer. But, to be honest, if the working out's going to take longer than that, it's probably not worth spending your time on the test anyway. Alright, a Hamilton cycle for the following graph is, so that's what we just did. It has to go through every vertex once, and it can't cross over itself. Yeah. So, this one is CB, D, E, A, F, G, D, A, C. No, that's not it. What's this one? We've got A, B, C. So A, B, C, F, G, D, E, A. That seems pretty good to me. I think it's B. I'll check the other ones just in case. A, E, D, B, C, F, G, D. So yes, that's crossing over the D again and the E again. That's probably an easier way to do it, right? Just look at the letters. So this is crossing F twice. That's crossing D twice, so it has to be B. Alright, use the graph. I almost dropped all my spare pages. Use the graph for the following questions. Alright. Redraw the graph so it's planar. So that just means no crossing lines. So I can redraw that. Sort of like a house shape. And I have to redraw these two like vertical lines. something like that. Use the graph drawn in part A. State the number of vertices, edges, and faces. Well, vertices hasn't changed, it's still 6. Edges hasn't changed either, but whatever. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's make sure I got that right. And we'll count this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Far out. Alright, I'm going to recount. Maybe I'll colour them in this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I must have counted them as 1. Alright, so there's 10. And people with OCD are probably freaking out right now because I drew that in the wrong colour. Faces, edges. Faces, sorry, is what I need. So how many faces now? I have the outside 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got it right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. Does that work with our formula? Faces plus vertices minus edges equals 2. Yeah, that works. That's the next question. Alright. I'm not too sure how far they want you to go with that, but whatever. Construct an adjacency matrix. Okay. Well, there's no single loops, so that means on the diagonal I can just put zeros in. Alright. 1 connects to 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh my goodness. Okay. 2 connects to 4, 5, and 6. Alright. Oops. My rows are all over the place now. 3 connects to 5, 1, 5, and 6. 5, 6. 4 up to 1 and 2 only. 5 connects up to 1, 2, 3, and 6. I'm just going to redraw that 0 because it's completely in the wrong spot. Alright. And 6 doesn't connect to itself, so I apologise for that being a bit messy, but you get the idea. This is what it's like being a teacher, having to read people's messy work. Alright, so this is a graph of some sort, looking at like a walk, I guess. And wants to know the shortest distance from start to finish. Okay, well, just glancing at it, I feel like the shortest distance is through here. That's 7, 9, 15. That would be 7, 9, 17. So I've got 7, 9. So 15 is the quarter beat. So that would be 16, 9, 11, 17. That's too long. 9, 11, 19, 11, 14, 21. Yeah, I think 15 is the score to beat. I can't see anyone beating that. What is the total length of the shortest Hamiltonian path from start to finish? Just to be annoying. Okay, Hamiltonian path connects every vertex. This is a tricky one. Well, there are a couple ways I can go to. Goodness. Well, and Hamiltonian path can't cross vertices. So I'm thinking that perhaps the shortest way is to go this way and then this way. Because that's 8 versus 9. And then it makes sense to come back through here. And I can't go that way because that would finish it. Oh, but I have to finish it. Oh, geez, that's not good. This is why I should be doing this with pencil. Let me change colour because I have to go to this vertex before the end. So I'm thinking that same way, potentially this way, and then down here. That way, that way, that way. That's what I'm thinking. But that's just based off my my rough guess, I guess. So I obviously picked that way because it's the shortest path out. And then it makes sense to go up there because, like I said, it's shorter to go 4-4 than 5-4. And then we had to go this way to include that one, which is fine because the 2 is nice and short. That 2 is shorter than both 3s. That makes sense. Normally I would have gone that way, but then we wouldn't have included that point. So we had to go this way, that way, that way, that way. I think that's right. I might have a... Nah, I won't have a look at the answers. I'll just hope that I got that right. I'm taking this like a proper test. So it's 4, 8... Well, I got 8, 13, 15, 17, 21, 27, 29... What's that part? Is that 1? I think that's 1. 1, 30, 37. So I think it's 37. Provided that that's a 1. Recommend not drawing all over your graphs so you can't read it. Yeah. Alright, so that's what I estimate the shortest path to be, but we'll see. I'll draw a minimum spanning tree for this graph. Alright, so I think we might use that Prim's algorithm again because that worked for us pretty well last time. So we do our first line, which is to connect up these two because they're connected via a 1. So that's good. And then we'll do any 2s, which includes that one and that one. So it's a 1. They're both 2s. This one's also a 2. That one's also a 2. And I think that's it for the 2s. If we do 3s, there's a 3 there. Sorry, I'm looking at this graph here, by the way. I'm just trying to, without covering it. So I've done 2, 2, 2, 2, and 1. Which is these ones through here. So we do 3 next. We can take either of these 2. So I'll just say that one. We don't need that 3. We don't need that 3. I think that's all the 3s, so we'll go 4 next. There's a 4 up here as well. There's also a 4 connected to the start. And I think that's it for the 4s. And the only last one I need to connect up is here, and that's the shortest distance would be a 6. So I think that's it there. So that'd be 10, 12, 15, 19, 21, 25, 27, 29, 30. It's a nice round number. Makes me think that my last answer was probably wrong, but that's okay. Alright. Add the minimum number of edges in order to create an Euler's circuit. Now, if you remember, an Euler's circuit means that every edge has to be even numbered. Okay, so that one's fine. Those aren't. Those aren't. So you need 2 edges. So I'll do here. That's probably a bad idea because now this is sort of like clunky in there, but that's okay. It still works. So that's 4. That's 4. That's 4. That's 4. Would have been smarter to just do the outsides. Whatever. Alright, use Prim's algorithm to identify the minimum spanning tree. Well, we've had plenty of practice at that because it's what I've been using. So, alright, quick glance. Smallest values are 25. So I do both 25s. Next is 40. Yeah, after 40 it'd be 50. Then 60, don't need that because they're connected, don't need that. Or do I? I do need that. Don't need that. Then it'd be 75. Then obviously 100. So that would be 100, 175, 200, 250, 290, 330, 390, 430, 470, 495, 495, 570, 620, I think. And that's it. So hopefully you found that useful. Hopefully I didn't get many of them wrong. I'll have a little sticky peek at the answers in a minute and make sure that I didn't stuff that up. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that helped you. Cheers.